retired man, 61 years of age, and I've been on a journey of understanding what it is to have Jesus living in my heart and being the rock of which I've made all my other decisions upon. It's a journey, and it started as a young lad in a very happy, secure environment with a loving Christian family around me. But I've had to make my own decisions along the way, and I want to tell you a little bit about the story and about the decisions that I've had to make. Hi, my name's Phil Norton and I attend Revival Church Billericay. This is my Jesus story. Life in its fullness brings all sorts of different challenges along the way. And I'd just like to share some of those that I've think about, though some of those that have shaped my life and have created me to be the person that I am today. So I was brought up in Essex, and I've had a very secure, happy lifestyle. I've been part of a family that has been a church-going family all my life. So I've had Christianity and the story of Jesus in my life from a very young age. So I am now a father, I'm a grandfather. I am showing my children and my grandchildren different parts of my life that I hope that they one day come to accept for themselves. So how do I do that? What do I do? Well, I do that by sharing some of the experiences, some of the things that I've gone through in life myself. As a young boy growing up, as a young man trying to find my identity and what I should do in life, to then being married and then going through married life and then bringing up my own children, and now later on my grandchildren. But I'm still a son. I still have parents, I still have brothers and sisters, I still have an extended family. So I don't disclude them in my story either. So as I say, as a young man brought up in a very secure environment, but it really sort of comes to the point of what did I believe? We were attending a youth group called Covenanters, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed meeting other guys from different lives, and it was a robust youth club, and we really enjoyed it, but it had an effect on me and my life. But we went away to camp, and during camp I heard and I listened and I saw things and I felt things that were different. And I believe at that point I welcomed Jesus into my life in a new way, a new understanding for myself. And I was happy with that. And I told people about it, and I tried to develop my thoughts around my Jesus story from that age, about 13, 14 years of age, I think. But I didn't develop it. And I went through senior school and then left senior school and went into my career choice, which was a choice to become a police officer. So at the age of 17, I moved out from home and I went to live in North London at Hendon, where I joined the police cadets. I served there for a year and a half, and then I joined what's called the regular police force, so the Metropolitan Police, in 1983. At the age of 18 and a half. I started my police training. I got allocated to work in central London, where I went and I was enjoying myself. I was living in what we used to recall section house, which is digs at Marble Arch. So I was living in the West End of London, and things were pretty good. But I started to go down a course in life of feeling a little bit, losing my way a little bit, unfulfilled, I suppose you'd call it. I was in a relationship with a young lady, and it seemed to be going well, and started wondering whether this was the lady that I might spend my life with. But that wasn't to be, and I didn't understand why. And I started on a different course of reigniting a relationship, and my story with Jesus took another big step. So I met a beautiful woman called Linda, who is my absolute soulmate. We have done life together for many, many years, and we have a very full, loving relationship. And I met her, and she helped me reignite my Jesus story. I went to a Louis Palau event at Wembley Stadium, where it's one of those things when you go to these things where there's thousands of people present, but you just get the sense that the speaker is talking to you directly. I had that experience where Louis Palau was speaking straight to me, and I began the next step of my Jesus story by fully committing myself to understanding what Jesus has meant for me, which was difficult. I was still a young police officer, still working my way out in life, trying to find my identity. But with this new passion in my heart, I did my job differently. I married Linda. We moved to Essex. We set up a family, and we brought up our children in Billericay in Essex. I'm now retired. I did my 30 years as a police officer. During that time, there were other times that I can think of on my journey where my faith stepped up a gear. One of those was in about 2000, the year 2000, when I can't even think how old I would have been at that point, 36, married, 3 beautiful children at home. I went to work at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was a surveillance officer, and we got turned out in the middle of the night. And in the dark, in the rain, in the very nasty weather, I had a serious accident on the M6 in an unmarked police vehicle, where I reflect on it, and even to this day, I've been reflecting on it recently. I came out of that thinking, why wasn't I dead? Why was it not my time to die? I believe that during that accident, my faith took a massive step up, because as an investigator, I went back over it. I went to try and find out what was it all about. I had amnesia, so I had no real-time understanding of it myself, so I had to speak to other people. I had to speak to the rest of my team that was on scene pretty quickly, because as part of a surveillance unit, there was many of us there. So I've got their account of it. I've got the eyewitnesses that told the police what happened. I've got other circumstantial evidence that says to me that there is no good human explanation of what happened to me on that day. I believe it was a spiritual intervention. Some of us in life think about the alternatives and the different atmospheres in life. I fundamentally believe that there are angels that come to us and look after us. I happen to believe that I have 2 very large angels looking after me, because I am a larger than life character. So my angels on that day knew that it wasn't my time to die, and they came and they rescued me. They pulled me clear of the wreckage. Before any humans got there, I was hauled out of a vehicle, out of a situation where, when you look at the photographs from the scene, there was no room for me to be sitting. But I was pulled out. I was looked after until I was in a place of safety. And later on in the hospital, I came back round. I came back to consciousness when my darling wife was with me. She's my soulmate, and I was back in my secure place. So I've got things like that in my life that when you talk about it, when you talk about your journey, that is a point in my life that I know I had more affirmation that the things that I was believing in, the things that I was seeing around me, the sensitive stuff that was going on around me, I always came to confirm about my faith in Jesus.